Thank you for being here. Blessings, 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 blessings be unto you. This is Mercedes Warwick, and welcome to the Mindfulness of Healing. This is an associate program of sacredqi.com. And I would appreciate it if you would subscribe if you haven't already subscribed to the channel. Share this video if there's information that you really resonate with, or push the little bell icon to get notified when I put a video up, because I don't post on a schedule. So it's always nice to check in if you're having some good insight because of what's here on this channel. I'd really appreciate it. So, the first thought of the day this morning was, remember, the healing comes from within. And there's so much to unpack in that one statement. I'm going to go back to the beginning of the time when I was in medical crisis, about to get diagnosed with stage 4 breast cancer. And what happened was I could not breathe. The left side of my lung was filling up. My left lung was filling up 750 to 1,000 milliliters of fluid every 3 days. My body was on overdrive trying to heal itself. And my very good friend, I can remember, she was like, are you staying, you going? You staying, you going? You staying, you going? You know, what do we need to do here? And I said, I don't know. I don't feel like it's my time to go. I'm happy to go if it's my time, but I just don't feel like it's my time. But I don't know what to do. And at that time, right at the very beginning of this journey, my guidance, I can remember my guidance saying, just be, pause, just be here now. Just be here now. And it was a scary time. Everything that I had done up until that point, 36 breaths, journey into the I Am Mind, yoga, qigong, meditative movement, breath work, everything had been through the gateway. My journeying into a meditation or into my sacred inner space was through the breath. I didn't know anything else. And so this was not only a medical and physical crisis, it was really a spiritual crisis in a way. Too weak to go into my spiritual toolkit and recite the 23rd Psalm or the Lord's Prayer or anything else that I might have come up with over these years, all my bubbling ups. And too weak to get into the space that would allow me the inspiration to come forward. And I just kept hearing, be here, just be here now. And I will tell you, I teach this, and it's the hardest thing for most people to understand. And what guidance was saying and what I was experiencing and have continued to experience, and I will tell you this is very important as you go into contemplation and meditation. When you have the inspirations, they don't always come with instruction manuals. I always used to say, guidance didn't give me the instruction manual. I still gotta understand what this means. And we used to laugh about it. But what was happening was, it was the first time that I was being consciously invited into the space I now call the compassionate presence. Sitting in the compassionate presence, resting in the silence of the divine. And the other thing that happened over the course of the next year, I would say, was I came into an understanding of the body's role in my divine walk as an expression of the divine on this earth. Because up until that point, I was going through some really tough emotional times, and I believe that when I was going into my space and doing my work, I was leaving the body, literally. And I can remember my guidance saying, you don't have to go anywhere, you can just be here. And that was years before this experience. Just be here. You don't have to, when you're going into meditation, just sit and be. You don't have to go somewhere. And I just so clearly remember that. Didn't understand it, but I remembered it. So I remember doing exactly that, exhaling. So much comes through the exhalation. And I don't even remember being able to put my hands on my chest. I was connected to monitors and things. So I can't tell you. All I can tell you was that I was on my back most of the time, or on my side in the fetal position. Couldn't stay there long because it would compress my lung. So I was on my back. And I remember just focusing on the breath is life. And if you really think about it, everything that we do is an expression of bringing forward into our realized state or actual state from the divine or from the energetic expression, from the consciousness, right? So this made absolutely perfect sense, even though I was not that, I didn't have that knowledge at the time. And I would just breathe and through everything. And when I say just be here, the breath was life. As long as I was breathing, as shallow and as painful as it was in that moment, it's probably one of the few times over this cancer journey that I could honestly say that there was some pain associated with me just living. And I would literally just feel the rising and the falling of my chest, the ebb and the flow. And there was no profound things happening. So I wasn't saying, oh, as long as there was breath, there was life. There was nothing like that happening. It was literally just a conscious focus on the rise and fall of my chest. I was too weak to go through anything that would have been in the past. I was too weak to worry about money, because that was one of the things that had kept me from getting care. I didn't think I would be able to afford my medical expenses. And I was not, prior to entering the hospital, obviously there was something going on in my body, so I'm doing my energetic work. I'm with my teacher mentor, my elder, and we're doing things. And in hindsight, especially after this morning's revelation, it was like we were applying the energy as opposed to pulling up the energy or bringing the energy up and out. And I've had some very profound experiences over the last couple of weeks, and there is this, the breath even feels different when you're moving inward to pull the life and the feeling better, and the transmutation of pain or the transmutation of discomfort and disease forward to release it out, and underneath it comes this incredible wave for me of peace. And I can remember I got righteous about being at peace and being happy. And at the time, my sister Doreen talked about it with me the other day. She was like, that was it. You got righteous. It was like, if it wasn't making you happy and people weren't on board with your living and your life force, supporting your life force, they were just gone. There was no argument. There was no, it was like you exhaled and said, thank you very much. And that was it. And I got righteous. And I can remember, the other thing I can remember was this incredible sense of peace. And if you're around me now today, one of the things that I say is this worth your peace? And a week ago, because I had this tremendous report for my own situation, I added, is this worth risking your healing, your health? And the answer to that in that particular circumstance was no, it's not. And so I released it. I won't tell you the circumstances, but I released it. And it's just not worth it. I'm not going to allow, I got righteous. That's the only word. And I remember the other thing that came was I had to be loving. It was a loving release, because rudeness, ungratefulness, loud, putting some velocity behind whatever I was doing or thinking. I didn't have the strength. I'll say that right at the beginning. I didn't have the strength. I mean, it was everything I could do to walk, to get up and stand up and make it the 12 steps to the facilities. I mean, I didn't have the strength. But as I came out of this, it was like, I can just remember saying, I am love, I am love, I am love. And at that moment, I wasn't loving my body too much. And I was having a really difficult time in life. So there's a lot more to unpack in this, but it was just getting to that understanding that the life force, the actual life force, that I didn't have to remember to breathe. I didn't have to remember to see. I didn't have to remember to smell. I didn't have to remember to see, to hear. I didn't have to remember to, thank goodness, I didn't have to remember to have circulation in my body through digestion and bowel movements and things like that. Those systems, thankfully, were all working. And they were all working because I am the life force. There is a force that is just flowing through me. And so it was not that profound in that moment. But as I was just sitting there, I was literally saying to myself, as I breathe, I live. That's the only thing that I remember. I have a book and I journal and everything after that. But in that moment, those 9 critical days, as I breathe, I live. And it was so interesting, because people thought I was dying, so they were coming to the hospital with all these sad faces and everything. And I finally just put the word out, please don't come see me. Because I couldn't control the attitude of and the prayers, how people were praying for me, so I didn't want this wailing, and things going on. I want the affirmation of life. When you see me, you see life, right? And so that life force, I just remember, and then eventually when that peace became my friend, when that peace became my true existence, and it stays with me most of the time, even now, I learned, and that peace was so profound, and it filled my body up. And I'm human, so it would go away. Something would move me away from it, and then is this worth my peace? exhale and come back into it. And just stay in that peace. And I can remember, I can't remember the instance, but I can remember the feeling. I can remember the first time I got really, truly angry about something. And that pain shot through my body like a ripple. And it was not worth my peace. And so even now, if there's something that is irritating or not right that I'd like to have different, I don't want that energy in my space, it's not worth my peace and it's not worth my healing. Okay, so let's see here. I am just going to invite you just for a couple of minutes here. I'll do a video that will do the breathing sequence, but just put your hands over your heart. And now I find that it's important for me to touch my body, to make that connection, because the mind, body, spirit, soul ecosystem, the spiritual ecosystem, is a complete unit. Not the mind going off doing something and the ego trying to get your mind to be all intellectual and everything. And then your body's doing something else, and then in your soul you feel something, which is the purpose or the blessing or the lesson in the moment, and then your spirit is just that divine, your divinity, that divine spark within you. And all of these things are not four separate things, right? It's one unit coming together so that you can have an experience that is divine. Everything is divine, everything that comes forward, but having that experience that you are bringing into your life as the experience and being the expression of I like to say that I am an expression of the divine, that divine spark within me. I would like people to see the light within me. I'd like to be treating people as they are a very special light, that you are a light, and that together we illuminate together, and that in that presence, the I am is the beginning and the I am is the completion. We're just going to breathe what we use in our community here to bring that bring that unified mindset, that unified heart set, that unified divine expression and experience. And just exhale for a moment for me, please. Sigh of release, breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth, placing your hands over your heart. Coming into remembering breath, breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Breathing in, I am. Expressing, you are. I see your light. We radiate light together, and we are the presence of the I am together as one. Breathing in, I am. Exhaling, you are. Breathing in, we are. Exhaling, I am. Breathing in, I am. I see, you are. Together we are. Exhaling the I am. One more time. Breathing in, I am. I see your beautiful light. You are breathing in. We are together. I am resting here for a moment. Just releasing your hands and placing it on your heart. Namaste. I see your light. Blessings be unto you. May you know the divine intimately.